Coming to you live from the Poison Point studio, it's Neo!
Good evening, my esteemed watchers, and welcome to another episode of Poison Points. I'm your host, Irisu Neo, and I see you all in chat today. Welcome in, Neither Smile, and thank you for the follow, as well as Bruva and Pigeon Scruff, and thank you for the subscription as well. I appreciate it. Space Buffoon coming in again, at first, under my armpit for the table. So, and Zaku, and Wickman, and Plibbit, of course, being in the wings, the proverbial wings today. Let me turn up my music here. And yes, we do have a few stinky frogs here. Oh, and Wisp, Silver, Lily. I'll get through everybody, I promise. Dark Elvar. I think that's everyone. I think I've got everybody here today. Yeah, who is Plibbit? EO. Yeah, EO is also here. Thank you all for joining me this fine evening. Oliver Diomba, thank you for the follow. I will say, I apologize for this. I cannot, for the life of me, get StreamerBot to recognize my follow command. So if you do follow, it will not show up, but every other form of notification will. I cannot explain it to you. I have remade it from the ground up, completely new, and it will not work. So, she's the evil one. I'm a little evil. I'm just a tiny bit evil. And if you haven't already, the join command has already been set. But if you haven't already joined the Discord, I recommend that you do. We are a very welcoming community, comprised of both me, Buffy, and Rez the Hunter. And we do our best to keep community events going. My word, I can't speak today. This Sunday, at least I think it's this Sunday, I could have it wrong, October 15th, I will be opening it up to everybody in the community to try to take down the queen of Crab Game herself, who is specifically me, in a fun little crab game competition. So if that's something that suits your fancy, I would love to have you all here. Signups are for joining the VC, so being a part of the stream itself, but otherwise, the whole event is open to anybody who wants to join in for chat. And thank you, Zaku. This was primarily made by Pinch Raccoon. I've made extremely small little changes to my model, but overall, that is their work, and they're also my partner. Otherwise, I am working a little bit better on my socials. So on YouTube and on TikTok, you can find me at Irisu Bison. There it is. It took a minute. You have to finish your sentence before the command is recognized. But yes, I do upload there, and I've been trying to be a little bit better about it. All the other Poison Points episodes from the month prior and to this month, I have not gotten to yet because I like to procrastinate. I was going to say I like to make them high quality, but no, let's be honest, I'm a procrastinator. It's been in my blood since I was born, and I can't help that. So I will be better about it. It will be tonight that those are all uploaded. I promise. So on top of that, I put a lot of effort into all of these streams. I not only research my subject by my abductee and get them on the show and make all the promo for them and work together best I can. I also try my hardest to provide a cohesive, fun experience that everyone gets to enjoy. So if that is something that you can appreciate, much like what what Neither Smile did, subscribing to the channel helps out a bunch. Otherwise, you can do !donate to go through Ko-Fi. You could also see that down below. At least I think I have that set up. But yes, any little bit helps. It's not an obligation to donate to the stream, but I do intentionally not run ads. So everybody, regardless of your viewing status, you will only get the pre-roll as you enter into stream. I think, unless it's not working and they've changed that, but that should be the case. But yes, not at a single point should you receive an advertisement and not until it's not even happened once. So, as far as I know. Thank you for the follow, Jardin. I appreciate it. How is everybody doing? I have a bunch going on in my life, and I'm excited to share what is going to be happening through the remainder of the month. However, I also am very busy, so it's hectic. I want to know what everyone's weekend was like. What is your life experience? How is everybody that's joining us here from Plibbit side? How are we today? And while that's happening, there's another command. While that's happening, I'll make sure that everything is all right and in order, because I am the queen of scuff, and I tend to mess a few things up every once in a while, so I wouldn't put it past myself. You're chilling out and studying for an exam? Well, I hope that you are successful. Smells like up frog in here. It's up frog. All right. Everything should be good. Life is good, one step at a time. Indeed, 100%. That's all we could ask for. Since I'm a schoolwork, I got to have yesterday off from work since it was a holiday. Well, happy holidays, and I'm glad that you were able to get some rest in. Hopefully. Not much. How about you? Well, I'm doing just fine. You got a free dental cleaning. Wow, everybody's winning in chat today. That's absolutely wild. The perfect person to interview Plibbit. I would say that I'm... Okay, fine. I'm a little cool. If not a little scary. I try. I do my best from time to time. Alright. So, I need to preface, when I swap to the next scene, it's going to play an intro for Plibbit. But I forgot to add a little, a little fade in. And the fade in doesn't work on scenes quite the same as it does in a normal video. So it's going to jump right in. All of y'all are going to be jump scared, and I apologize for that. There's nothing I could do. Except I could re-render it now, but laziness, that's me. I'm the embodiment of pure lazy, so. No you, Aya. No you. Alright. Without further ado, I think it's time that we bring out our guest. Not laziness, it's just too late. Well, that's fair. That's fair. All right, prepare your noggin for a little bit of a jump scare.
I open a door to ask if it's safe. Listen, I'm exploring. I'm exploring. I'm allowed to explore. Let's watch. Oh, Texas Roadhouse, more like sexy moan house. I mean this in the nicest way. You are all so stupid. Hey, Game Grumps, do you have any specific thoughts on this? Just wondering. Just listen. You don't have to tell me now. Just at some point in the future, I'd like to know your opinions on the meat mountain from Arby's on the secret menu. Stunned silence. I got this. Take as long as I need. 9? Is it 9? 9. I'm saying 9. I'm locking it in. 9. Should I have cheated? I feel like I should have cheated. I'm out. I'm out. We're done.
Introducing our guest for this evening, it is none other than the amazing Plibbit.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Oh my god, hello. Hi.
Welcome on in, Plibbit. Well, I should just
It's good to
say,
be here.
just Plibbit. The amazing part is more of an official title for yourself.
You could say that. I mean, technically, it's my legal name.
Oh, you're amazing Plibbit.
Captain is my first name, and then Amazing's my middle name, and then Plibbit is my last name.
Okay, I'm curious about the naming conventions there.
Well, I changed it because I thought that people would respect me if I had like a cool name. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked so far, but hopefully we'll get there, you know?
This isn't technically a dox because there is no last name involved, but I have a neighbor named Amazing. So, hey, there we go. Yeah, for real.
Dude, there's 2 of us.
Yeah, like somewhere out there, you have a clone of yourself.
Incredible.
Welcome onto the show, Plibbit. As we are getting all settled in the introductions, could everyone please give me like that canonical sound check? Because it sounds right in my ears, but it might be a little bit loud for everybody else or too quiet, so... Yeah. I am a little hyped up on coffee, but from what I understand, you are as well, so this will be a fun interview. Yeah, we like to be a little wild here in the Poison Point Suite. Sounds good. We got one good check. Buffy is our resident audiophile, so if it doesn't sound right to, or if it does sound right to them, then it's perfect. So, all right, Plibbit. I have a little bit of an indoctrination technique, a way to get you into the proverbial kidnapping that you've been a part of. And we always like to ask a question from our last interviewee, which was Ellie from Nova Swarm. And she wants to know, and this is a real doozy, so you can take as much time as you need. But okay, Ellie wanted to know, is nothing really nothing?
Is nothing really nothing? Here's my take on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like nothing is relative, right? So, like, you can't have nothing without a something.
Mm-hmm.
So, my take is that nothing is something, it's just the absence of something.
Okay, so...
Does that make sense?
I see what you're saying, but does that mean that the word nothing is paradoxical?
A nothing is a something, and that something is the nothing. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, that checks out right with me. I don't think anybody can dispute that fact, so...
You can't. It's impossible.
Who here is willing to step up to the plate and fight against this logic? Not me.
Don't. Don't.
Don't do it. Yeah, not worth it. Something malicious will happen. I just can't tell you what.
Yeah. You're not ready for it.
Well, thank you for answering that question for me today. I will make sure that it gets safely delivered to Ellie from Nova Swarm. With that said, I do have a little bit of an icebreaker set of questions for you today. The introduction to you as a VTuber and getting to know you a little bit more. So, Plibbit, why did you become a VTuber? How did you get from where you were before all of this to where we see you now today?
Well, I guess I always wanted to stream. I like the live, like, kind of platform. I like, everything being kind of on the fly and, like, having to come up with stuff, like, really, just out of thin air, really. And I guess that I really liked VTubing because it was it's very flexible. I can look how I want, I can have props if I want, I can make kind of the jokes that I want and move around. I think that's just really fun. It adds like a bit of like a kind of like a theater kind of aspect to it that I really like.
Mm-hmm. So you love the improv nature, and it's fun to, like, when you're presented with a challenge, and that challenge is to make something funny on the fly. You enjoy the thrill that gives you.
Yeah, the adrenaline of it.
Do you have any big VTuber inspirations? Anybody that you looked at before and you were like, yeah, I want to be like them?
Ooh, I mean, probably Nanners is a really big one. I've always really liked Nanners. She kind of has a similar vibe of, like, going off the fly and stuff like that. I also really like Germa, and I talk about that a lot, who isn't a VTuber. I mean, I guess you could consider him maybe, but... but, I'm a big Germa fan. I think that's, like, a huge inspiration for me as well.
We are exactly the same. Oh my goodness. I have been killing my friends all weekend because I've been stuck in the Germa voice, the stupid ass Castle Griffinsteed, and I can't stop. It's addicting.
Amazing.
And hey, it's what I always say. VTubing is the gateway drug into VTubing. Like, for a lot of people, they look at it and they're like, I don't have to show my face. and these are very pretty, expressive models, and I want to do that for myself. So
Yeah, the privacy thing is a huge thing for me as well. Like being able to like put on a production without actually, like having to like actually get a set and stuff like that is very nice.
it's true. The only thing though is that it can get very expensive. Probably the most expensive way to platform yourself on Twitch or even as a YouTuber if you're doing videos. So there's dedication and time and love. There's a lot of love.
Absolutely, yeah.
But hey, once you get a model that fits you and you get to wiggle around and move and feel all pretty, yeah, exactly. You really get to, yeah, you get to feel like yourself. It's a lot of fun. Now, with the creative process, I just want to say I love your name, but where does your name come from?
The name was actually the first thing before I even decided I wanted to be a frog.
Okay.
I was sitting around, if you see Pigeon in chat, I was sitting around with Pigeon a long time ago, and we were trying to come up with like automatopoeias for like what it sounds like when you're like blowing with your tongue. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You're making like kind of a little noise. And we were like, well, I think it would be Plibbit. I think Plibbit is the automatopoeia of that. And then I was like, well, Plibbit kind of sounds like ribbit, and that's like a frog. And I could be a frog. And now I'm a frog.
The transformation was complete.
Exactly. I was born.
And there you have it. Now, as far as your design goes, when you came up with your name, what made you want to go this route with the space VTuber? Honestly, your whole color kit is so cute and amazing.
Thank you.
For the lore that we're about to unleash on the land. But where did that come from for you?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I didn't want like full space captain. I wanted something kind of in between. Something that was just like, I love, the big jacket and the glasses. I don't know. It gives it kind of like a spunky vibe. But as far as like captain, I think a lot of that comes from like, wanting to have like a crew, which is basically chat. I guess that like having people involved in the lore made the lore more exciting to me. Like everyone is kind of a part of it,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you call them Plibkins? Because I see it on your status all the time, and
No, Plibkin. Oh, that's a whole. A Plibkin is seasonal. Those are like it's a pumpkin, but it's me.
Okay.
I just call my community frogs. They're just my little frog crew, and they do everything that I need them to do all the time, and I'm a really good boss. And they don't complain ever.
Yeah, never ever.
Ever. They love their job.
When you are the frog master, no one else can be upset with you, ever.
Exactly.
Having underlings is very important. Well, Nyx has said it here first. They are another villain VTuber, which you sort of do. You have that a little bit as a part of your lore. We'll put the quotations around it, like you're sort of a villain. Yeah, definitely not, but actually yes. And that had me curious, and I never got to ask this before because I've had other villains on the show, but what has drawn you to being that villain, the criminal, the space criminal that you are?
Well, I guess in kind of like a literal sense, it's kind of fun to be like in opposition to chat. I find that very fun. And kind of to be like an evil boss just felt really good. But I guess it's also, like I don't think I'm a villain. I think I'm correct and perfect and cool and smart. And it just happens that a lot of that aligns with me doing villainous things.
Uh-huh.
It's not my fault, I'm just naturally like that,
It comes in the genetics.
Exactly.
There is a certain irony to it, and I think that it just works perfectly, almost flawlessly with your character, I would say. To be this cutesy space criminal. It's perfect.
Exactly. I like the juxtaposition of it.
Oh, yes. And it's funny because I was actually just watching a little video, 30 minutes about Megamind, and I know this is a weird tangent, but I was wondering about that. It had me wondering, Megamind is a villain, not by technical choice, but because that's where society placed him, and he's technically good, and he has the ability to do so, but since no one was on his team, he made his own. So I always wondered if, man, if you're a villain VTuber, is that something that you go for? Is that speaking for yourself in the real? But
I mean, I think so. I mean, I think I'm kind of the Megamind of Twitch, to be honest. I have the capacity to be good, and I think I'm good at what I do. But unfortunately, I'm not that good, and that means that I mess up a lot, and I have to pretend it's intentional. So,
yes, and
which leads to me seeming like a villain.
Forever quotable. You are the Megamind of Twitch.
Thank you. I wear it with honor.
Hey, and we all know the difference between a villain and a supervillain is presentation. So
yeah.
Cue the Welcome to the Jungle theme. Is there anything that you have been working on in secret that you are able to share with us today, or maybe an upcoming event instead?
Ooh, there's nothing that huge I'm working on that's set in stone just yet. However, I have talked about wanting to do different stuff on stream, doing cooking streams or stuff like that. Stuff that's using a hand cam and stuff. I'm kind of well known for having really bad food takes, so I feel like a cooking stream would be really fun. And stuff like that. And that's stuff that I really want to do in the future, so.
Okay, as the resident in real life chef, can you give me your best worst food take?
I have a pretty notorious one. I think... Okay, hear me out. How does hot dog as a dessert sound to you?
Hold on, I'm trying to taste it. I'm trying to feel it in my...
Okay. Imagine it. Envision it. Imagine a hot dog with whipped cream on top of it. A whippy glizzy, if you will.
I'm here.
You see it in your mind's eye.
Yeah, I can perceive the whizzy glizzy. I just cannot imagine the flavor combination working well together.
Well, I'm of the opinion that I think that we need to be exploring the realms of food beyond what we already know.
Uh-huh.
And I am ready for us to, as a society, accept the whippy glizzy, which is a hot dog with whipped cream on it. Have I personally tried it? No, but I'm a staunch supporter, nonetheless.
So you're telling me that you have proposed a scientific hypothesis that the whippy glizzy is good, and yet you have not partaken in the testing trials.
Well, listen, that's not for the boss to do, that's for the employees to do. That's not my job, but I think everyone else should do it.
She has a point.
Thank you.
Sorry, chat. Any opinion that you may have otherwise is invalid. Maybe with a chicken sausage instead of a hot dog? I can see it because chicken and sweet do go together. That's why we have the chicken waffle. So this is why we have a union. Well,
I don't know. My general take is that a hot dog could possibly be a breakfast item, and I feel like I might be a world-changing idea. That's where I stand on it.
Okay. Has anybody in chat tried this combination at the request of Plibbit? Please raise your hands. I would be willing to, after this interview, run to the store, grab a hot dog, and put whipped cream on top of it. And I will be your front line.
Thank you. I'm glad to have your support. Thank you. My ongoing Whippy Glizzy campaign.
Neither smiles, saying it was disgusting. I have a feeling it was.
Hey, no, it wasn't. Stop it. Don't.
Well, It's funny that we bring up weird food takes because I have a scientific one that actually is supposed to taste good on a scientific basis, and that is dark chocolate mixed with avocado. All science and all proteins and those things count towards it actually tasting very good.
I am trying. Listen, I'm imagining it in my mind's eye.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's the texture that's off. Because
Yes.
avocado, that's really smooth. It's smooth and creamy. And dark chocolate is notoriously not smooth and creamy.
Well, you can whip it up into a chocolate mousse, or I guess in that case it would be an avocado mousse. And that is how a lot of desserts will prepare it that do have it. Because the nice thing about avocado is that it is largely flavorless. So very, very creamy, like you said, and very wholesome. Whole, umami, that's the right word. So...
Yeah, no, I can actually see it. When you put it in that perspective, it's the same as the whippy glizzy. You have to put it in a different perspective to understand it.
Okay.
So when you say, like, whipping it together and kind of like a mousse, now I totally get it, and I'm on your side, and I support you.
So what you're suggesting now is that instead of its normal form, bun, hot dog, and then the whipped cream on top of it, we have to change the way that it's prepared. Blend it in a blender. Put the whipped cream on top.
Oh my god, ew. Yeah, no, that's a great idea. That sounds delicious, and I'm on board.
Ew, it's a great idea is the best way to prove that you love your... you stand behind it.
I support it.
All right, well, I probably won't be blending it since I'm not the proud owner of a blender, but I will still give the normal hot dog and whipped cream a try. One taste.
I hope you do.
It's all it takes, and I'll send you my...
I hope you live.
I'll send you my full food review and resume. I think that'll be good enough to have, like, I don't know, second in command or something on top of all that.
Yeah, very good, very good.
You could inject it, this is true. Straight into the bloodstream. No need to taste it. All right. All right, that's enough of the food takes. We're good on that. So I like to ask this question, not necessarily as a, like, this is not what you want to be, like who you are right now, but if you were not a space VTuber and this wasn't your design, what do you think you would be instead?
I've thought about that a lot, and I think I would be a shrimp.
Really?
I feel like, yeah, just like a little shrimp. I feel like that just kind of, I don't know, something about that just kind of seems right. Like a fiery little shrimp. And I think, like, it'd be a really cute design as well. I don't know.
I mean, you say fiery, and the first thing I think of is, yes, a shrimp did fry that rice. So, that could be your catchphrase.
The jokes write themselves.
What kind of design would you want to go with then?
You don't know. I've never thought too much about it. But, like, I would love some kind of, like, I don't know, something like kind of mimics, like, kind of like a shrimp shell, like with a little tail and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, hair that kind of maybe looks like pinchers. Not too different from what my hair is now, but something kind of similar to that. I think that'd be cute.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. And some of the clips I've seen of you, I think it matches your personality. Sorry,
But unfortunately, I'm frogged in the brain. I'm full frog, so...
Yeah, once you go frog, you can never go back, ever.
Exactly.
Okay, my apologies. I've hidden myself off screen because my cat jumped up and ruined everything. So, we're back.
Hi, cat.
You probably saw me go completely limp and, You stayed out there. You stayed down there. Okay. So you would be a shrimp.
Yeah.
Tagline, a shrimp did fry that rice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, we get the kitty love. Now that I'm back on track, because holy shit, that cat ruins a lot of my focus. When you come home and you get on the computer whether you're in a chat, in a VC, you're on Twitter, or you start up stream, what does it mean for you to be Plibbit?
I guess for me, it's like channeling every bit of positivity and energy I have and just completely, putting it all into stream. Because, like, I think that's just something, I don't know, I stream for me is like a time where I can be energetic and happy and just, like, my best self, you know what I mean?
Do you ever find yourself tired after the fact?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, I put a ton of energy into every single stream, so it does make it a little difficult sometimes, but I don't know, it's worth it. It's something that, like, I could be having the worst day ever, but as soon as I sit down and I start stream and we all start, like, getting into the vibe of it, it just, like, I forget everything. I forget all of, like, the bad stuff that may have happened that day.
Okay. I also, like, so I prepare for these streams. I put a lot of effort in, and I enter in with a different vibe because, well, this isn't my stream technically. It's partially yours and whoever's sitting in that seat. But back in the day, before I did all of this, it definitely was the biggest escape from the real terrible workspace and all that stuff. And I forgot about it when I hopped on, and by the time the stream ended, I was in bed asleep, and that was it. That was the end of the day for me. So I'm glad that you enjoy it to the extent that you do. And my only advice, because everybody, like, I feel like I see this with everyone, don't burn yourself out, please.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I have, like, a general rule of, like, don't stream, too many days a week. Don't stream for too long. Don't be doing, like, 24-hour streams. Or take time to, like, actually relax and, like, build back up that positive energy a little bit.
Yeah, because time for yourself is time for other people later on. Yeah. So there's no point in rushing your way out to the next big level or partner status.
Yeah.
I see it so often with so many people, and I don't say it in a place of, like, hey, slow down there. You can't do that. It's it's concern, because I did it. I had the same thing happen to me, and I did not listen to the advice that I was given. But here I am today, finally breaking free from all of that. So
you're free.
Yeah, free as a frog, a gay frog in that matter. So thank you, Alex Jones. You were correct.
Man, I'm glad I put all those chemicals in the water.
Yeah.
That was the best decision I ever made.
The new canon lore is that Plibbit made all of us gay, so...
I did. You're welcome.
The biggest conspiracy. Your main act is the space criminal that you are.
Yep.
Asterisk. So, with that being said, speaking of space, where do you come from? Where is your home, per se?
Well, I mean, I grew up on a space station that's primarily run by frogs that are much smaller and much dumber than me. I am the best of the best, the cream of the crop, which, I think it kind of set me apart. I always kind of knew I was different, amazing even.
Okay. And, why do you think that you're that amazing? Like, you are Captain Amazing Plibbit, but
it's true.
Where does that come in for you?
Well, just in comparison to tiny little frogs, like this guy right here.
Oh.
I mean, this is the littlest frog we have. So, I mean, I'm clearly much bigger and smarter and taller and better.
This is true.
I mean, this just kind of filled my brain with delusion that maybe I am the best. And that hasn't failed me since.
It filled your brain with delusion.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, we will use that word and phrase positively.
Yes, it's positive. I like it.
Dipper is going to take over the channel one day. I do sense a malintent in those eyes.
What do you mean? He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
From one frog to another, I see it. Look, I'm evil. Look at how I turned out. I was once a cute little being as well, so.
Don't listen to her, Dipper. You're better. It's okay. You're gonna be fine.
And I like the correlation that tall does equal better. Taller does equal better. What would you say your canonical height is?
Well, it's hard to say because everything's so relative, and I don't believe in tape measures on this ship. So I'm about maybe 7 frogs high, which is pretty big. So 7 full-grown frog.
Okay, and the frog in your lap, standing straight up.
Yeah. So 7 dippers tall, I think. Maybe. Probably, yeah. That sounds about right.
Okay, so you technically fall within the confines of it's National Kick Tall People Day. So you might want to look out for that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm gonna go. Sorry.
It's okay, because it's also National Throw Short People Day. I am.
Let's go.
I am right at the threshold of 5'4", so.
Tiny.
Yeah. It's okay. You could throw me. I'll kick you. It's a fair. Yeah.
Yeah. A symbiotic relationship.
It's a national brawl right now. No, it's beyond national, Buffy. We're going into the universal level of kicking and punting and all that stuff. Damn it, I can be both thrown and kicked. You're right. The fact that I am right at the threshold means I'm both. God damn it.
You just gotta hide. Sorry.
I'll sit here. I'll bring out my claws, and I activated it really fast. Fight me. I dare you.
Bring it.
So, when you're on your space station, what do you do to pass the time?
Personally, I don't do a lot, because I'm really just telling other frogs what to do for me, because that's what a good boss does, I think. And, personally, I just kind of watch TV and eat pizza and play video games. But, listen, I work really hard sometimes,
Yes.
so I think I deserve it.
Those are, staples of being a villain.
Yeah.
You let the goons, as someone might call it, do all the dirty work for you.
Exactly.
What nefarious deeds do you have your goons do for you?
Well, it's honestly a full-time job trying to keep the ship working. It's constantly breaking down. It's also filled with garbage, because we don't really clean. So it's more just casual maintenance. The whole taking over the universe thing, it hasn't gone great. Only because, we have a hard time enough taking care of the ship. But I'm sure we'll get there one day,
Have you considered hiring a janitor or somebody who could take care of that for you, or?
Well, we have several crew members, several members of chat that have been assigned janitorial jobs. However, they're not good at their jobs, so there's still trash everywhere. And I think it's also we have 2 janitors and 1,000 other frogs, so it's just not a good ratio. They're trying their hardest, but bless them, they're not doing it.
You're throwing maximum shade at those members. I salute you, everyone who tries their hardest, but...
Listen, they're trying, but jeez.
Speaking of your spaceship, what capabilities does this ship have? You claim that taking over the galaxy is, part of one of your main goals, but can that ship do it?
Well, the ship, I acquired this ship through legal means. But I don't know all of its features yet. And the big feature it has is that it's just kind of like constantly evolving as time goes on. It's like it's got a mind of its own. So who knows what it's capable of at this point? One day we're gonna find the manual. I haven't really found it yet, and if I found it, I don't know if I knew how to read it. But one day, I mean, I think that it could do a pretty good job at taking over the universe. I hope so.
I mean, if it is constantly evolving, eventually it will evolve the take over the universe button. So
I hope so, yeah.
So if it is constantly evolving, aren't you afraid that it might become too big and cumbersome to move or take care of? Or does it shed its old parts?
I mean, it really is kind of a mystery to us all. I mean, one day you wake up and there's an entire water park where the bathrooms used to be, and that's just life now. And you just gotta roll with the punches and you gotta live with it. And I don't know. I mean, it's, I don't get it. And neither does the crew, but it's a part of like our little family, so we just kind of deal with it.
It's the TARDIS of spaceships.
Exactly, yeah.
Constantly changing liminal space.
Yeah, exactly.
You might want to be careful, though. I hear that things like that don't tend to stay all nice and kind forever.
It'll be fine.
All right, I'll take your word on this one. But you did stutter a little bit. There was a little bit of concern in your voice, unsureness that you did legally acquire this vessel.
Yeah. Well, legally meaning that like I wrote my name on the outside.
Yes.
And I admit it. I think that's legal. I think that's legal enough. Finders keepers law.
I mean, did it have anybody else's name written inside of it?
I don't know. I can't read. Sorry.
I see. That checks out for me.
Yeah.
I just want to say that despite the circumstances of you being here today because of my abilities, there is no police presence here. So whatever stays on the show and happens here, it just stays. So
yeah,
nobody's getting this. But I did happen to see a little bit of a wanted poster for you. It was a little shredded,
ooh.
So I didn't quite get to see like how much your worth, your value is on that wanted poster, or whether it's dead or alive.
Well, things happen. People make mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes are blowing up a moon. Everyone's been there. It's not my fault.
This is true. I've been in a not exactly the same, but somewhat similar situation. Let's let's make it a little bit easy. We're going to say that this is a hypothetical theoretical. This didn't happen, right? But let's say that it could. What would you have done to blow up the moon?
Well, being hypothetically a frog in space college, and finding a big button that says blow up the moon, and kind of pushing it, it's really not my fault. They should really keep that protected a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. And hypothetically, how would you have known that it said blow up the moon?
I didn't. I can't read.
I see.
I just pushed it. It's not my fault. Probably.
Why would they have a button that blows up the moon?
That's a mystery to me, It's a mystery. I think that's something that needs to be maybe examined by space police.
Yeah,
I'm just a victim of circumstance.
That is fair. Megamind and all that stuff. Hypothetically, though, how much do you think the blowing up of the moon puts on your head in terms of a bounty?
It's somewhere, maybe in the span of like $1 million to $1 plibbillion. Somewhere in that span, but that's hypothetical. Please don't try and get that money.
Yeah.
It's not real, because it's hypothetical. I didn't do anything.
Yeah, hypothetically. This didn't happen.
Hypothetically.
We're
Yeah.
just assuming that it did. But it's all right. Your secret is safe with me. And,
Thank you.
Yeah, we have the jammer up, the police jammer, so no one will ever
Okay,
see.
thank God.
All right, well, with that all said and done, you briefly mentioned that you were in space college.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't, but you did mention that you were in space college. What were you studying?
Spaceology.
Okay. What is the the basis of spaceology?
Well, I think the basis is space. That's a big one. To be honest, I never got my degree. But I took like the basic classes and they were like, this is space. And I was like, yeah, you know what? That's space. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about as far as I got, so.
So you learned space was space.
Yeah, space is space. Stars, planets. But what else do you need to know beyond that, really? I mean, I've kind of made it, I've made it really far without needing to know any of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that begs the question, on your ship that you didn't steal, who pilots that ship?
Our pilot would be Pigeon. He is our bird of the ship. He is basically just a normal pigeon, really. But he has great flying skills, as you would expect of a pigeon.
This is fair.
Yeah, and he seems to pilot it most of the times, but to be honest, we're not entirely sure the engine works. So we could just be flying through space, and we wouldn't know.
I mean, in a space of zero gravity, which as we all know, birds can achieve.
Yes.
I think that you could be going somewhere. You never know.
I hope so. I hope it's not directly into something bad, but time will tell, I guess.
I'm just imagining the Star Wars, the Clone Wars, the scene where they enter hyperspace, but it's pointed at a planet and they just right into it.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen to us. Hopefully.
It shouldn't.
But if it does, I guess it'd be really cool. I mean, it's not the worst way to go,
Oh no, you can't see this, but I was just followed by U.S. Homeland Security.
Oh no!
I don't think the jammer worked very well.
No! Hypothetical.
Hypothetical, it didn't happen, I promise. And
Satire.
Technically, the U.S. is not in space. Well, maybe whatever quadrant you were in. So, checkmate.
Yeah, I'm not breaking any laws because there aren't any.
I'm sure there's like intergalactic code. I've played Spore before. I made it to space stage. There should be something, right?
I mean, I kind of think so. I mean, if there's space law, then, there's space cops, I guess, looking for space criminals. Then I guess, yeah, I mean, there must be some kind of, system in place. But, it's kind of one of those things where it's like out of sight, out of mind, And I don't want to search it out, because then I'll get caught. So it's better to just, stay blissfully ignorant, I think.
This is true. If you don't know, then technically it is your truth, and you're not lying at that point. So.
Exactly.
Have you ever had any close calls with the not space police?
Well, we try and stay on the run. I'm sure there's been some close calls, here and then. But to be honest, we don't really get much done, and we're just kind of floating through space at this point, so maybe one day there'll be more close calls, but honestly, we've been pretty safe at this point.
Okay, alright. Well, I wish you the utmost in your journey, and
thank you.
in trying not to be caught. Let's say that you had a plan, like, you got everything you needed. You have all your money, your your hands on deck, as we shall say, and you had your plan to take over the galaxy. What is your perfect galaxy takeover?
I mean, I would want to take over, and as much as I can, make people not realize I'm a villain. So maybe, I don't know, some kind of maybe a mind control or something like that. I think that's a good place to start. Because I don't want to, I mean, I can't let them know that I'm evil. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, the perfectly ethical brainwashing.
Yeah.
It makes sure that they're clean. You scrub them down.
Yeah.
And just Plibbit. Just Plibbit.
That's all you know, and that's all you need to know.
Okay. I see. I can sort of see where that logic is. Do you have any fears that is maybe a bad thing?
Well, if everyone thinks like me, and I guess by my logic I'm the best, then no.
Okay. I can get behind that. I'll sign up first.
Way. I've never had a plan that didn't work, so I think it'll be perfect.
Fair enough. Yeah. If you have sign-up sheets for that, I will be the first to sign up for you.
Good.
We'll test out the hypothesis in that regard.
We'll run some tests.
Speaking of plans, you mentioned that you have a flawless track record, as it were. What is your most flawless plan?
Well, I kind of figured that, the good place to start in taking over the universe is by, maybe being a business person first.
Uh-huh.
So I guess my biggest plan that I've had, that some would call it a failure, some would be a success, I guess would be Plibbit Pops, which, if you wanna, I'll get my Plibbit Pops out. Let me see. So a Plibbit Plop, I mean, this is basically all a frog needs. It's got all the nutrients a frog needs.
Uh-huh.
And it definitely doesn't have any kind of brainwashing abilities.
Mm-hmm. Definitely not.
And this has kind of been, this is kind of ground zero of testing the waters of, what I'm capable of. And frogs love them. I think they're good. I wouldn't eat one, but I think they're really good.
Yet another example of a food take that you have not tried yourself.
Yeah, they're great. I mean, everyone thinks they're great. And that's all you need to know. Eat one now.
You know what? After the show, I'll give one a shot myself.
Let's go.
I have a personal policy to not to eat during interviews, so we'll keep it that way for now.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. I'll accept it.
What kind of nutrients does it have, aside from this not brainwashing material?
I mean, it's 700 calories a pop, which may sound like a lot. And it's entirely made of protein, which is something that you shouldn't think about.
Artificially sweetened?
I mean, I think it's sweet. I've never tasted it, and I don't want to. But it's made in our own personal lab on the ship, and I think it's good. And you don't need anything else. This is all you need, forever.
Oh no, the authorities might see this one. Uh-oh.
Hypothetically. Hypothetical.
No one will ever need to know the secret, Pigeon. It's safe with us, so...
Yeah. It's fine.
So, I don't want to call them symptoms, but what would happen if someone were to just, take a lick of these what did you call them? Plibbit Pops?
A Plibbit Pop.
Plibbit Pop.
Well, it starts with getting what we like to call in the business plibbed in the brain. You'll notice a lot of individuals in this very chat are plibbed in the brain.
Uh-huh.
Soon you will know nothing but plib. This is it. That's all you do. This is your whole life. Sorry.
That was it. That was what it took to break me. I want a
You sound like you might need
too.
a Plibbit. Yeah.
We all need Plibbit Pops. I can't even say it. It is such a tongue twister. Which is perfect, because if some authority were to go and check it out, they might get the wrong brand. You know, you're messing with them. Is it one of those Plibbin Pops? Plibbin Blops? You'll never know.
Yeah, you'll never know. But definitely don't try not to get the off-brand ones if you can. I heard they don't work as well.
I see. as in what exactly?
Well, I guess you'll get like less plibbed in the brain, which is not what we want. That's not good for Frog. Frog needs to be plibbed in the brain.
This is fair. Let's go down another hypothetical theoretical really fast.
Okay.
If they were partially plibbed in the brain, what do the side effects of that look like?
I mean, I guess you could think about, plib sometimes. Sometimes you think about doing work, and sometimes you think about, stuff like that. But, you're just not doing your frog best. You're not bringing your best out. And that's what Plibbit Pops do, is they increase performance. And they also make you not want to do anything else, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't need to.
Much like, but it's not. It's not like steroids, but it's a lot like steroids.
Yeah.
But it's not. Yeah.
Pure protein.
Pure protein. It reminds me of how my poison works myself. For those that may not know, I am also a frog, a poisonous dart frog in that regard. So I get to infect some people in the brain. So I'm starting to see the similarities in the way that we handle things.
Oh my god, they're Irisu in the brain.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
incredible.
I mean, I do call them my esteemed watchers. They're always looking.
Hi.
Them frogs and their neurochemicals, yeah. But not a war crime. There is no war crime in space.
I would never do a crime.
Never.
No.
Never. So, you say that you're a frog, but you're taller, you have humanoid features, you're smarter than the frogs that you are around. What makes you so sure that you are a frog?
Well, I think that, I have a frog dad, who looks like a frog, and he's a frog, and, I'm surrounded by frogs all the time, and it just kind of makes sense, I guess it's something that, I don't want to think about too much, but also, it's kind of like a local legend that I may have eaten radioactive goo, and that could be why I am the way that I am. Taller, not smaller.
Smaller, yeah, okay.
No. taller,
yes.
Cooler, all of those things. It could be related to that.
Hey, smaller is just smarter and taller smashed together.
Exactly.
We're innovating.
Yeah.
But you've never really questioned what may have had to happen in order for you to be, taller and smarter, unlike what your dad would look like.
Well, sometimes I question it. Sometimes I wonder, why was I chosen to be the best? But at the end of the day, it just kind of makes sense. I think it's kind of like destiny. You can't dwell on it too much. You just gotta accept it, and accept your role as being maybe like the supreme leader of the universe, which is what I want to be.
And after all those pizzas and all the gaming, you may finally achieve your goal. Who knows?
One day,
it could find its way into your lap, and you just got to be ready and waiting, distraction free.
Yeah, I hope so.
if you're too worried about taking care of a ship and you're doing other things that an evil villain would do, you'll never know when that opportunity might strike. So
Exactly. I'm keeping, my eyes peeled for the perfect time. In the meantime, I can just do whatever I want and tell everyone else to do everything else.
fair enough. Along those lines, because you do have some authority, all authority over your plebs, your little frogs. What happens if someone, decides, I don't want to do this? Like they don't want to be there anymore. What do you do in that case?
Well, I mean, we talked about how this is, nothing leaves here, just between us. If a bad frog will get sent to frog jail, and if they continue to be bad, well, then I guess maybe there's a Plibbit pop machine, hypothetically, that maybe accepts bad frog.
Okay, it's a way to correct bad behavior and completely ethical.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's kind of like, think of like a recycling bin. You just put the bad frog in a recycling bin, and then a Plibbit pop comes out, and you don't think about it very much.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. I won't think about it too much.
Yeah, don't.
I will not worry about it at all. I promise I'll be good. I don't want to be hypothetically recycled, so...
Yeah. No, you don't want to be. Be a good frog.
Now, with your frog status, as you are, what do you like the most about being a frog? Is there any abilities that you have that you're like, yeah, this is the shit?
Well, I mean, I can jump really high, and that comes in handy. I think that also could be just because I'm really tall. But I feel like I might be the tallest jumping frog that's ever lived, actually. I don't have any statistics on it, but I've never seen someone jump higher than me. So I think that's pretty cool.
How high would you say that you can jump?
Well, maybe probably like 30 frogs high.
Jesus,
I'm not a scientist. Yeah, I'm not a scientist, but that sounds about right, maybe.
You are a spaceologist, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. Amateur spaceologist, yes.
Okay, so 30 frogs high.
Yeah.
You... With your master plan, I am curious, because, if these Plibbit pop, oh my god, this is so hard to say. Plibbit pops take off. Would you ever consider going back and restarting your study of spaceology, finishing out those classes?
Oh, good idea. I mean, it's kind of difficult, being hypothetically wanted by, space police. Maybe I would, but I think that maybe the best learning is the learning that's done in the field. I feel like I'm kind of learning about space as I go. And I don't know that knowledge is something you could find in a book or something. And I think it's all experience.
I mean, you know what they say about martial artists. If you study on the book, then you're going to learn nothing when it comes to the actual fight. So you got to have that fighting experience before it really starts to take root in your muscles and everything.
Yeah, space muscle memory.
Oh god, Buffy. Plibbit, please provide people a Plibbit pop.
I will. Everyone
in chat. Yeah. In the post show, we are handing them out at the door.
Look under your chair.
It's okay that they don't have nutrition facts. It's totally fine. That's not important.
Eat it.
So eat it. Do you chew on a Plibbit pop or do you suck on a Plibbit pop?
I think you suck on it. Maybe it just kind of melts over time, but it's kind of odd because it does kind of have a meaty consistency to it. So
I was gonna say,
at least that's what I've heard.
100% protein, and you suck on it.
Yeah. It's gonna take a long time.
I see. You gotta make sure that all of the nutrients inside of it make it through your body.
Yeah. I imagine it's kind of like if you took protein powder and made it into like a brick, and that brick is like a Plibbit pop.
New cursed food item just dropped. Protein brick.
Delicious.
I love sucking on my protein brick.
Plibbit's patented protein brick.
Oh, goodness.
Now on the market.
Yeah, now on the market. Still no nutrition facts. It's not important.
No.
Oh my fucking god. I'm sorry, I have no self-control, and I always bite those types of candies. Oh, candy. I thought you said candles. I was so confused. Okay. We will wean off of the lore with a segment that I've come up with myself. I've actually forgotten to change the parameters of this voice command, so I'll activate it manually. This segment is called Hypothetical Theoretical, and it has stemmed from a VC call where I always start off a conversation with hypothetically theoretically, and what follows is many groans from my friends. But I always have fun because they're in pain, so... Plibbit.
I'm ready.
Hypothetically, theoretically, if you saw a perfect clone of yourself appear in front of you one day, what are the first words that you say to them?
Oh, honestly, it's kind of like a dream come true.
Okay.
I mean, now there's two of me, and that rules.
Twice the fun.
Twice the fun. I mean, to be honest, it'd probably be like, a best friend. Like, we're gonna be best friends.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do worry that it will become sour. Yeah, marry me. That's another good one. I feel like eventually it will go sour because I'll get jealous, thinking that, I'm the best one. So maybe it'll be like, maybe like a beautiful, loving friendship that ends in maybe like a 1v1. That's kind of how I envision it.
1v1 me?
Yeah, 1v1 me.
I mean, if they're a perfect clone of you, then they have your abilities. They know exactly what you're thinking. Let's say that the moment that you think that it's going to end sour, they think that as well.
Oh. I don't know. I think that, I feel like I would be better because I have the heart. Because it's more genuine, because I'm the original. So, I feel like I have a better chance. It's got better odds.
There's actually something very existential about that question, because if your clone wins, did anything really change? I mean, you weren't there, right? But your clone, who is you technically if it's perfect, is living on your legacy. That's weird. That could be a little scary.
Does that imply that there's a clone of every frog?
Oh, that is a good question. Somewhere in the vastness of space, I'm sure there is.
Yeah. Oh my god. That's too many. I need more Plibbit pops.
Everybody in chat right now who is interested in my lore, technically, there can never be a second me. All right, there you go. There's your lore drop.
Dude, you're one of one.
I am one of one. It's true. But I do ARG stuff, so everybody who has context is like, oh, yeah, write that down. I'm going to make sure I get that one. Okay, so there's my hypothetical theoretical. Lovely answer that you would be friends to enemies to something. Lovers at some point?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe. That'd be cool.
Call it a doppelganger. There you go. I think this is a perfect opportunity to take a really quick break, get some good old rest, and walk around, grab a water, and run to the restroom like I have to. So if anybody has any questions, don't ask Plibbit quite yet. hold on to them so that we can have them all in a row when we get back. We'll see you in just a moment.
Later.
All right, everybody. We are back. I actually don't remember if I hid this source, and I don't want to blast everybody. Okay, we're good. We can come back. Yes, I go by she, her. I should probably have that as well because I have it for my guest. I don't have it for myself. I don't know. I'm weird. Well, Plibbit, I
Hello.
do have a few questions from chat for you today. Some of them are I think they were meant for somebody else, but this first one I am curious because I don't know the lore.
Oh boy.
Zach Baggins, or
Oh
Bagans,
no.
I'm not sure who this person is. If they were put in a room and they had to fight infinite of you, how many Plibbits would he beat?
Okay, well, to explain, Zach Bagans is the host. I notoriously only watch one TV show. It's called Ghost Adventures, and it's about a bunch of goth, middle-aged men who hunt ghosts. And Zach Bagans is the host of this show. And I've been obsessed with it basically forever. It's so dumb. And it's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing to talk about. And Zach Bagans, to put it into perspective, he's just kind of like, again, he's just kind of like an old goth, I guess like maybe himbo is maybe the right term, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But he's just kind of like an older goth guy who hunts ghosts. And he's really goofy. As far as how many Plibbits he could beat, none of them.
You think that
every single time.
You think that you would Plibbit sweep right there?
I would Plibbit sweep. There is no competition.
Huge. Why does it not surprise me? Plib is talking about Zach, aka her whole personality.
I talk about it every stream.
It's perfectly fine. If it wasn't for the fact that I interview other people and I would talk about myself as well, I have a huge obsession with Hugh Laurie, otherwise known as Dr. House in House MD.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I love his sassy personality, how sarcastic and a bitch he could be, at least in the show.
I get it.
It's not lupus. It's never lupus. All right. So that was a question technically for Pigeon, but I see that the both of you are on the same page.
Oh, yeah.
Buffy wants to know, if you had a special ultimate technique in a video game, a fighting game, what would your attack be?
Ooh. Something that is like summoning a frog. But like maybe every time like I do a bunch of poses, and with every pose, there's a new frog that comes out, and they just go infinitely.
So as long as you can come up with a new pose, you can summon a frog.
Yeah. Maybe it's like got a beat game involved. So like you have to like it's like a quick time event.
We got the Naruto toad summoning jutsu, but it's for you.
Yeah.
Like the Chrono Trigger Frog tech. I'm not familiar with that, Val, but if it is what you are thinking of, then more than likely, yes. You'd have a frog-based stand. Don't all frogs have frog-based stands?
Yeah. I've got a lot of them. They're called my crew.
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember what mine was. I had a name for mine that I came up with, but I completely forgot because they're all based off of bands, real life bands or songs. I don't remember, one of the two. I don't watch JoJo, so her stand is Survivor, the worst stand. Well, that's a little harsh.
Wow, jeez.
I don't know. This whole interview, I've heard nothing but positive things, like positive abilities and positive powers. I think Plibbit is a force to be reckoned with. So
I think so too. You get a Plibby Pop, an extra one.
We will reinvent the answer of 21 divided by 3 is 9. That is the new answer.
It haunts me. It haunts me forever.
I'm sorry. That's the shitter in me coming out.
I can't escape the number 9.
It's forever. So, Buffy also wants to know, what is your favorite type of hat?
See, this is a complicated question. Because due to my buns, I have to cut holes in all of my hats.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really complicated, and I've lost a lot of scissors in the process. So, I think maybe like a visor is good. Something that goes around the head while, keeping the buns in place. I think that's a good idea.
All of my VTuber friends with ears or horns instantly have understood exactly what you mean.
It's hard.
So relatable. I used to have buns myself, but I had a hoodie that basically cupped them in, so it worked out in the end.
That's a good
I basically,
idea too.
yeah, I built my wardrobe around those buns, and then I went shorter hair. So, although I am curious because you did say that you've lost a lot of scissors. What does that imply about the coat you're wearing?
I mean, what do you mean? Well,
I mean,
what do you mean?
Is it so strong that you lose scissors to it?
I mean, I try and, I'll tell you what it actually is. I've got a lot of cowboy hats, and I tried to cut holes into all of them. And it doesn't work very well, because cowboy hats are not meant to be cut. But I just want to be a cowboy, That's just kind of like my dream. I think that's, I want to yeehaw,
And yeehaw, you shall.
Yeehaw.
Everybody in chat, can we get a rounding yeehaw for Plibbit here today? We'll let her live the experience, even if she doesn't have her 10-gallon. So,
yeehaw.
You want to be a cowboy, baby, with a
I want to be a
10-gallon
cowboy,
hat,
baby. Yeah.
and whatever the rest of that song is, where he is definitely a country cowboy, 100%.
No doubt about it.
Buffy has the power questions for today. What fantasy RPG class would you be?
Ooh. Difficult. I like the concept of a bard. Not in a singing way, but just kind of I don't know. I want to be an entertaining kind of fighter. Like doing a lot of showing off kind of moves.
Okay, so in terms of a D&D class, I imagine a flourishing type of bard. That focuses in on the melee aspect.
Yeah, something like that.
Or a wrestler, yeah, that would work as well.
Oh my god, I'd love to be a wrestler. Yeah, that's a good idea. Write that down.
Take notes, my crew.
Yeah, take notes.
Yeah, we still have plenty of time to submit questions. Actually, I don't think this was necessarily meant to be a part of the question area. I'm going to call you Jan Juan. I can't say your full name. I apologize. They want to know how you're doing.
I'm doing great. I feel like I'm doing great.
That's good. That's good to hear.
How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderfully. I've been fighting off a cat.
Oh.
Yeah, my cat has been fighting me this whole interview, and she won't leave me alone. And I'm hugging her and giving her attention, but she doesn't believe that is enough. So
It's a battle you might lose. Sorry.
Yeah, that is fair. That is fair. We all know that cats rule and dominate our lives, so that's honestly that's all I can expect. Much like you rule and dominate our lives.
Exactly. Yeah.
Silver wants to know, what is your favorite Pokemon? Or, or what is your favorite type?
Ooh, I have 3 that are my top. I'm not a huge Pokemon person, but I do have 3 that are my favorites. I love Jirachi.
Okay.
I think Jirachi is super cute. Very star themed as well. I like Greninja. He's a cool frog. That's all there is to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like Toxtricity, which is
Oh.
kind of a newer one. But I don't even know. He has just such a vibe. He's just like such a cool vibe to him.
Okay, I can get behind those choices. Which version of Toxicity?
Ooh, I love the purple and yellow one. Purple and yellow is such like a good color combo for me.
I think that is the opposite of amped, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not a big like newer generation Pokemon person, but I think I know that that's the unamped version. So
I think so. I don't remember. I think he's cool.
okay. And favorite type that goes along with it? Or do you not have one that you can pick?
I don't have necessarily a favorite type. However, I do think that, like, you know, even though I didn't list one, I do think ghost types are really cool. All of the designs of the ghost type ones really kind of vibe with me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love ghost as well. So we're pretty much on the same page in this aspect.
Yeah.
Val wants to know. You don't have to answer this question if you don't want to. Why don't my parents love me? God damn it, Val.
You know, I think that what's important is that you love yourself. And see yourself, you know what, maybe you're your own parent. Who knows?
You know what? You know what they say? The found family part of your life also applies to you. So
yeah,
you gotta learn to love yourself, and you can be the I don't know. I have no way to go off of this question.
Love yourself. We got it. No, it's good. It's good. I think it works.
All right. Kayla wants to know: would you ever like tail? That's it. That's
What?
all the context we get for that.
You know what? I would like a tail. I'm glad someone asked. It's about time. I would like
Finally.
a tail.
I've been waiting all these years.
God.
Chance wants to know, what is your favorite not crime to commit?
Ooh, my favorite not crime. Ooh, anything that's like maybe like a money crime. Anything that's like it's not money crime.
Uh-huh.
Like a kind of heist or something. I feel like that's fun. Because a lot of planning involved, you know?
A not robbing the bank type thing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Gremninja, which is funny that we were just talking about that, Greninja being one of your favorites. How much do you pay your crew? Actually, in this case, it's how much do you pay for your crew?
Well, my crew is paid in Plibbit Pops, which are then put back into the economy, or eaten. You know, you can spend them or you can eat them. It's a perfect system, and I pay them enough. I think
as much as they need.
Yeah, I mean, you're living, I think. Surviving.
All right. Zaku wants to know if you can give them your best ribbit.
Yeah, I can.
Oh.
Ribbit.
Ribbit. Let's go.
Ribbit.
Do you prefer the traditional ribbit or a kero?
I like a traditional ribbit. Just
Okay.
kind of hits right, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Neither Smile wants to know, are you their dad?
Yeah. I don't wish to elaborate. Yeah.
All right. Yep, we did it. We
Glad
solved
I
that
could help
question.
you.
Yeah, big
Hello,
W.
son.
Welcome home.
I'm finally home.
You made it.
Did it.
Okay. If you both had to be in a fighting game, what kind of fighting game would you both be in? Ooh.
Ooh.
That is a good question. I'll let you answer first while I think about mine, because...
I don't know. Like, I'm not huge into fighting games, but I feel like a Tekken kind of game would be really cool.
Okay.
Something that with like a lot of cool moves, like a lot of like fast paced dressing up is also really cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Something like that, maybe.
So you would want to be the highly customizable character with like 8
Yeah.
skins and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. To answer somewhat similarly, because they're made by the same company, I would probably want to be in Soul Calibur, because Tekken is like the fist fighter, Soul Calibur is the weapon fighter,
yeah.
so... I don't know, I could see the mixture of the two. I'd be the guest character. Hey, yeah, Chance got me, like, all the way out there. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, PK.
Yes.
Hold on, how is Dipper doing? Well, Dipper, I think, is busy being a little bit of a malicious villain, so...
Hi, Dipper. I think he's doing okay. You know, he's only like a few weeks old. I mean, he doesn't say much. And also, I don't want to teach him to speak. I think that's a bad idea. So, if he learns anything, I'm really worried about the safety of the universe. I think he needs to stay dumb. I don't know.
You know what? That is valid. Does Dipper like buttons to click?
I mean, he does. He's just like me, you know. He loves to push big red buttons that may destroy things, which is why I have to hold on to him 24/7. He's a bit of a handful.
Literally a handful, actually.
Yeah, literally.
Is he trying to constantly escape?
A little bit. He's very rambunctious these days. Because he's the tiniest frog. He's the tiniest one that's ever existed. So he is really like the baby on the ship.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, we let him get away with too much.
Oh, goodness. What does he get away with?
I mean, well, first of all, I mean, he's eating away at all of our Plibbit Pop supplies, which is really unfortunate and might actually be ruining his brain. But it's also, like, really bad for business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta distribute them, and do they... I never got to ask, do you charge for Plibbit Pops?
No, I mean, a Plibbit Pop is a currency and a food. So when you're paid for your job as a frog, you get a Plibbit Pop, and you can eat it, or you can turn it back in for some kind of reward. But usually that reward is just more Plibbit Pop. It's a really broken system, to be honest. But it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and PK bringing up tax evasion, that must look atrocious on the tax forms.
You don't do taxes in space.
That's fair. That's fair. Especially when you're a criminal. Not criminal.
Yeah.
Not criminal.
No. I pay taxes. I don't do that.
And can we get There we go. Wonderful demonstration. And yes,
Thank you.
There are 2 gay frogs on stream. It's even if you're like not technically sexually gay and you are
That's
straight
true.
or anything else, if you're a frog, you just kind of fall under that blanket. It's unavoidable.
It's kind of like spiritual. It's yeah.
I'm spiritually gay. Also actually gay. So all right, Plibbit. I have for you my big 3 traditional questions. These ones are a little bit of a doozy, so I've given you some time to think about them in advance, but take as much time as you need if you need to. So, my first question for you is, if you could ask the next interviewee anything, what would you like to ask them?
Well, I mean, this is kind of like going full circle, because I wanted to ask, you know, what is your most cursed food combination?
Yes.
I feel like, you know, like I said, you know, I want to explore the bounds of food. And I feel like, you know, learning what other VTubers are kind of, you know, what their combinations are. It's curious to me, you know? Yeah.
Knowing who's next, I'm very excited to see what their answer is. Because
Oh my god.
they're also someone I would like to refer to as a qualified shitter, just like me. So yeah, you know what? We'll put the question in chat so everyone can sit there and mull on it. So secondly, this can be non-alcoholic if you want to, because I know I'm in a bar setting, but if you were a drink at the bar behind you, what kind of drink would you be, and what would you call yourself?
Okay, so I'm so excited to tell you, because this is kind of like, going into, the business mind. I have been thinking, a Plibbit colada. It's also got like a trademark symbol at the end, just so you know it's like a Plibbit colada. Basically, it's a non-alcoholic pina colada with a lot of green food dye. And it doesn't taste good, however, it comes in like one of those big, like, I don't know, like those like souvenir cups that you get at like a Disney World. And that's really why you buy it. It may be like even like a mold of my face or something. I think that'd be cool. And like my little hair on the top is like the straw. And like it definitely doesn't taste good. It tastes like food dye. But that's not why you got it. You didn't get it to drink it. You got it for the cup.
Yeah, the novelty of the situation. That's all
it's the novelty.
I came, I saw, I drank the Plibbit colada.
Yeah.
Vomited profusely in the bathroom, but I got the cup, so...
Turned completely green.
Yeah, it was so powerful that it leached out into my skin. And yes, this is technically a bar. You don't see it too often because I have the chat in the background there. Let me see if I can... where is it? My chat is hidden in the worst space. Chat is lost to me. I don't know what to say. You're gone. So you'll just have to imagine that there's a there's a bar back there. Wait, I found you. There it is. It's very lightly over there to the left.
Wow.
So
it's so cool.
Yeah, this is our first novelty drink cup. True. No one
so
else.
Excited.
Yeah, no one else has gotten or given me a description of a novelty drink cup. So, very exciting. I have had one of the most unique drinks on the show, and we're talking about interesting food takes. Let me bring this one up to you, just to see what your opinion might be on it. Let's see, pull it up here. So this drink, the name of the drink comes from Monochrome TV, and they called it The Familiar. It is 1 ounce coffee liqueur, 1/4 vinegar, 1/4 cherry juice, a couple drops of your own blood, and a piece of paper with your name, and then an apple as the garnish.
That's incredible. And that's what I'm talking about. We need more innovation in our food. It got the right idea. I'll order 3.
Yeah, see, the thing about it that I love is that technically only you can drink it because your blood is not toxic to you. If someone else were to drink it, they might get sick because the antibodies in their system would fight it off. So it's basically a way of saying, hey, I'm writing my name, but in blood in this cup, so...
I do have a question. You said there's a piece of paper in the drink with your name on it?
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to drink the paper?
No, I don't think you need to drink the paper. You just let it sit in there. It's more of like like you're binding yourself to a contract as part of the flavor of it.
I see.
Yeah, it's like a tequila worm.
Bro.
What do you mean? We're frogs. We like worms.
I don't know what you're talking about. I would never eat a bug.
God damn. Okay. I see where we stand here today. The only reason I'm still poisonous is because of the ants I eat, so...
Okay, answer aloud. I'll answer. That's
Okay,
fine.
okay, fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah, I need an ant. That's fair.
And my last question for you today. Who would you like to raid?
I would like to read Zuzu. Zuzu is a friend of the stream, and she's very cool.
I'm gonna drop a terrifyingly ominous follow in advance. I
Let's
see
go.
that they're playing Luigi's Mansion, so this is going to be really fun. Okay, let me get back into my normal position here because I wrapped myself up in like pretzel somehow in a new chair. So hold on. Plibbit, thank you for being on the stream with us today. Thank you for taking the time out of your Tuesday to I'm frozen to join with us. And very wholesome. Surprisingly, we didn't go anywhere to unsay so, as it were.
Yes.
Thank you for the headbats. Is there anything that you would like to impart on chat today? Any wisdom or advice that we could give them?
Ooh. Here's my wisdom, and it's real wisdom this time, not like many of the things I say. I say, never be afraid to be yourself, because that's the coolest thing you can be. Always be true to yourself, and make sure you're having fun. That's what I gotta say.
All right. That is very, very solid advice. Be yourself, and don't let the them take it from you.
Yeah.
Them/ominous.
Gross. Ew.
And do you have anything planned coming up? Any big streams?
Nothing much. Just always, the normal Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Always
Huge.
around. Yeah.
Which, by the way, is tomorrow. So if you...
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see if I can't make it to stream. I'm usually very busy, but I'm always lurking. So I'll say hello, since we both follow each other before stream.
Yeah, let's go.
And with that, I will see you, hopefully, on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week as we prepare for big events and having a lot of fun and raising money for charity. So
Let's go.
we will see you all next time. Raid
Bye.
message? We're just gonna go with the standard. There we go. And now my favorite part, where we get to sit in the end screen and everybody can still hear us, and it's awkward.
Oh, hello. Hi.
Oh, hey, what up? Hey, everybody.
Hello. Eat a Whippy Glizzy today. You have to, legally.
Yeah, I guess I'll be doing that before the end of the day.
Have fun with that. Give me a full review.
Yep, 100%. Have a good night, everybody.
Later, everyone. Bye.
Oh, last minute sub. Of course, now I can't say thank you.